Hi everybody, here I am. It's Saturday morning and I am makeup free, and there is a reason for that. We are having dinner guests this evening. So, because we're having dinner guests, I'm doing a lot of cooking. And for me, as disorganized as I am at home, preparation is key when it comes to cooking. So stay tuned and I will be showing you how I prep for a little dinner party and dinner guests. See ya. The first thing that I did was I set the table for this evening because that's just the easiest thing that I can possibly do. As you can see, my laptop is still on the table, but don't worry, that will be cleared later. I'm very, very casual when it comes to setting a table for dinner. I don't like to be overly formal. And what I did was I put this tablecloth down that I purchased last year on sale at Home Goods. I never used it before. And I have these great little napkins that are two-toned, so they do match the tablecloth and they do match the little place mats that I have. I just took the napkins and placed a knife, fork, and spoon in there. I am big on white plates, and I have this nice little printed one for our starter. So that's about it. I will be back with other fun news about my preparation day. Okay, next is letting the bread dough rise. So while the yeast is blooming, I have gotten my ceramic bowl ready to put the bread dough in. I am letting the butter soften in my Pullman pan, which is what the bread will be made in. And I have the sugar, which is only 1 tablespoon. I have the salt, I have the butter, and I have the flour in my KitchenAid. All I need to do is put the water in and put the yeast in after it blooms. So, onward and up. Okay, the dough is kneading nicely in my KitchenAid, and let me tell you something about this KitchenAid. I had my first one for 30 years and it never gave me a problem. This KitchenAid is less than 3 years old and it had to be replaced already, and it still is just not as good as my first one, proving that they just don't make things like they used to. But I wanted to point out, see this scraper, this pastry scraper? It's also great for measuring, because when you have flour or any other dry ingredient and you want an exact measurement, all you have to do is scrape the top off and it works beautifully. Okay, I'm going to take a rest while this is kneading because I need a rest. I'll be right back. Okay, now the dough is kneaded. I have placed it in a lightly greased ceramic bowl, and I am taking this and placing it into the microwave to proof. Naturally, I won't leave the microwave on. It won't be turned on. The only thing that will be turned on is the timer. I'll be back. Okay, I pounded the chicken breasts down with my trusty mallet. This is a great tool because the thinner the chicken breasts are, the quicker and more evenly they're going to cook. So into the fridge with these guys. Okay, shallots are boiling, and whoever said that shallots are milder than onions, not when it comes to cooking, because my eyes are tearing. So I will shut this off and add the salmon, hold on, that I just cut up. I will put it into the wine that I have shut off and just let them sit there for about 30 seconds. You don't want to cook this. You want them slightly undone. See ya. Okay, The vacuum cleaner is in the background because my husband is vacuuming while I do the cooking. But here is the salmon with the shallots that are drained, cooked, and they are going into the fridge. And then I'll show you when I mix the actual rillettes. I'm going to start on the sauce now. I am going to drain the chanterelles. Actually, I'm going to strain them with water over them to bring out some of the mushroom liquid because I'm going to poach the mushrooms in chicken broth. So that's next. So here's the thing. Every December, I always buy our little rosemary tree for the house because I love fresh rosemary and it just gives everything such a great taste and scent. But as you know, plants have a tendency to dry out. And when my rosemary plant dries out, I take the little leaves off of the branches and I put them in a plastic bag. Then I take them out and use a mortar and pestle for when I want to add ground rosemary to any sauce that I make. And today I am making a chanterelle mushroom, cognac, and cream sauce. I haven't added the cream yet, but I'll show you how it looks when I'm done. The dough rose nicely. I punched it down, and now I am going to form it into a loaf and let it rise for a second time. I'll show you when it's done. I'm funny because I really like a nicely evenly shaped loaf, so I take my pastry scraper and I just cut ends off to make the ends a little bit more square. And it's cute because I can make little teeny weeny baguettes out of the leftover dough. Here we go. The bread, or rather the good loaf, as my son Roman calls it, is ready for its second rising. It's really difficult to do a video when you're kind of like using the phone as camera and trying to do everything, but I just wanted to point out this cutting board, my daughter Una made it when she was in middle school, and I still use it. I love this. It's probably my most used kitchen equipment. Okay, so I'm gonna let the bread rise again. Okay, now it's time to mix the rillettes. In this bowl, I have the salmon that I diced up and I cooked. I also cut up smoked salmon. I have mayonnaise, salt, pepper, the juice of half a lemon, and I cut up some dill. So I will show you what it looks like after it's blended and in the jar. Okay, so the salmon rillettes are made and they are jarred. I'll tell you, these salmon rillettes are the greatest starter to make because they do last for quite a while in the fridge. And here we go. They're always delicious, and I love to make a ton of these during the holidays. They're really great hostess gifts as well. Make a loaf of bread, bring some rillettes to someone's house, and you have a fabulous hostess gift. I'll be back. And there's also nothing wrong with getting ready-made vegetables. I sent my husband out to get some green beans today with the notion that I would have to trim them, but look what he did. He already picked up a pack at Wegmans that were already trimmed. You know, sometimes it's worth the extra money. Okay, so here I am, and as you can see, I have makeup on and I have hair on. I'm wearing Ren by Aesthetica Designs, and I decided to make myself human and put on some makeup for my dinner guests. This is actually a good wig to cook in because it's not really long and I don't have to open up the oven. So let me show you something. The bread is baked. The bread is baked. I have cheese out that's bringing down to warm temperature. I have my beans out, so all I have to do is just blanch them in boiling water. Let's take a look over here. My sauce is still cooking. A good sauce takes all day to make if you want to make it right. I have the cream boiling and then it'll cook down, and I will add some butter that I have in the freezer because cold butter kind of makes everything a little bit silkier when it comes to making a sauce. Hold on. I'm turning the heat down so you can see what the sauce looks like. It's a little liquidy now, but as it kind of cooks down, it will get somewhat thicker. And this will go over the chicken. So that is about it. That's it. And I am going to sit down and relax for a while. The table is set, there's fresh flowers, everything's basically done. All I have to do is cook the chicken. So that's it. Have a great evening, and no matter what you do this evening, have a great time, and remember to set your clocks back. Take care. Love you.